pare mula sa Diocese ng Cubao ang nagdaraos na misa sa kalye. Si Father Ronald Roberto, Kura Paroko ng Holy Family Parish ay nagsagawa ng misa sa kalye sakay ng pick-up truck. Ito'y tinawag na truck ni Kura.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Today, my dear friends, we're celebrating Friday of the 30th week in the Ordinary Time. But before we continue with our reflection today's readings, I encourage all of you to offer this Mass, praying to God for protection and safety not only during this pandemic, but so that God may protect us and keep us safe ditong may parating na malaking bagyo. The authorities have already warned us, issued warnings, that this will be a really serious one. So let us pray for protection and safety. At mag-ingat pa rin po tayo. As I have mentioned, today is the Friday of the 30th week in Ordinary Time. And we reflect on the continuation of the narrative of Saint Luke. Today we hear of Jesus on the Sabbath, dining with the leading Pharisees. You see how Jesus deals with people. Ordinarily, you would not dine with people who criticize you. You would not mingle with people who would, make up stories and trap you and test you and prove you wrong. Bihirang mangyari yan. In the normal case, in the normal situation, hindi tayo makikipagtsikahan, hindi tayo makikipagbarkadahan sa mga taong walang gusto sa atin o ayaw sa atin. But look at Jesus. It is very clear to him that his mission is to gather the lost children of Israel. To gather the lost children of Israel, and that includes the authorities of his time, the leading Pharisees and the scribes. And he was dining not only in ordinary places, but he was dining in the home of one of the leading Pharisees. Nasa loob ng tahanan ng isang Pariseo. And we know what the Pharisees did to Jesus. But he was there with them. He was fulfilling his mission. And when he was dining, eating with them, there was in front of him a man with dropsy. What is dropsy? Ang sarap pakinggan, no? Dropsy. Sa Tagalog, alam niyo kung ano yun? Manas. Nagmamanas. May isang lalaki sa kanyang harapan na nagmamanas ang buong katawan. And I made some readings about this, that during his time, during the time of Jesus, whenever a man has manas, ay para bagang katulad din ng ketong, ay hindi siya dinidikitan ng mga tao. Just like any other sickness. And according to experts, it is because of the excessive water in the body. Sobra ng tubig. Dahil may problema sa kidney or what. Kaya namamanas. At itong lalaking ito yung nasa harapan ni Jesus on a Sabbath. At alam natin na ang Sabbath ay araw ng pamamahinga at sa kultura ng mga Hudyo, kapag sinabing Sabbath o araw ng pamamahinga, bawal ang anumang bagay na maituturing na trabaho. Bawal ang anumang bagay na maituturing na paggawa. Dahil araw nga ng pamamahinga. At ito'y itinuturing nilang banal. And in front of him was a man with dropsy, suffering from dropsy. And Jesus already knew. And I also ask myself, oo, Ming. Tama, no? Sabi niya, tama. No? I also ask the question, saan nang galing tong lalaking ito? Saan nang galing itong lalaking saan nang galing? Gusto niyo siopaw? Joke lang. Saan nang galing itong lalaking nagmamanas na ito? And there could be many possibilities, no? Maaaring dinala ito ng mga Pariseo to test Jesus again. Maaaring isa siya sa mga slaves or servants ng mga Pariseo. And there could be other reasons. But Jesus took the opportunity and he knew already the thoughts of the Pharisees and the scribes. Alam na niya kung ano ang sasabihin ng mga ito, kaya inunahan na niya. At ang sabi ng Panginoon, is it lawful to cure on the Sabbath or not? And that made the situation more intriguing because they kept silent. Usually, the Pharisees would question Jesus for healing on a Sabbath. Kukwestiyonin nila kasi araw ng pamamahinga. In the other parts of the gospel, we hear that. Kinukwestiyon nila dahil nagpapagaling si Jesus sa araw ng pamamahinga. Now, in that house, Jesus asked them, is it lawful to cure on the Sabbath or not? And they kept silent. Now, I am intrigued. Who is this man suffering from dropsy? Maaaring kamag-anak din ng Pariseo. Maaaring relative. Maaaring kapamilya ng Pariseo yung may sakit. Kasi hindi siya sumagot. Hindi sila sumagot. And Jesus healed the man, cured him, and dismissed him. And Jesus said, who among you, if your son or ox falls into a cistern, would not immediately pull him out on the Sabbath day? Who among you would not save your loved one, your family, even on a Sabbath? And Jesus is striking a serious point. When something happens to other people who are not related to us, it is so easy to pass judgment and conclude. Pero kapag sa'yo na nangyari, kamag-anak mo na, mahal mo sa buhay ang involved, nag-iiba ang kwento. Nag-iiba ang kwento. That's why when we see criminals dying, we ask ourselves, what do I feel when a criminal dies? If you feel glad, something is wrong. Your perception of goodness, your perception of being a Christian, your perception of being a child of God is twisted. Pero halimbawang ang ilagay mo sa pwesto, ang ilagay mo sa pwesto ng drug addict na pinatay, ay ang nag-iisa mong anak. Would you feel glad about it? Jesus is driving a point of having an authentic kind of goodness. Tunay na kabutihan, consistent, untainted, totoo at tunay, hindi pa bago-bago, hindi seasonal, hindi sumpungan, totoo, tunay, nananatili, na kabutihan. And Paul explains to us this goodness in the first reading. As he greets the people of Philippi, the bishops and the deacons, and the bishops and the deacons of his time were serving the people. They were doing good to people. They were charitable people. And napakaganda ng sinabi ni Paul. No? I am confident of this, sabi niya, that the one who began a good work in you will continue to complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. And the words of Paul is re-echoed every time there is a priest being ordained. When a priest is ordained, the bishop asks the ordinandus, "Do you promise obedience to me and my successors?" And the priest will say, "I do." And that obedience of the priest is not only to obey what the bishop says, but to obey the goodness that Jesus asks him to do. And the bishop responds to the yes of the ordinandus, saying, "May God, who has begun the good work in you, bring it to fulfillment." And so, for us to attain that level of goodness in this world, we must first recognize that the good work we are doing is not of our own effort. Yung kabutihang ginagawa natin ay hindi dahil magaling tayo. Kapag ang tingin natin yung kabutihang ginagawa natin ay dahil magaling ako, tingnan nyo ko, palakpakan nyo ko. Pag ganun ang ating pananaw, may mga pagkakataon na hindi ka magiging mabuti. Dahil ang basihan mo ay iyong sarili. Pero kung ang basihan mo ng kabutihan ay ang paggawa at pagkilos ng Diyos sa iyo, every time you do good, you will say, "Lord, bring this good work to fulfillment. Complete what I am doing. Complete what I am doing." And Paul closes his letter, his narrative to the Philippians, to the bishops and deacons, saying, "Ito ang dasal ko para sa inyo," sabi niya, "that your love may increase ever more and more." That your love may increase more and more. Because real love, true love never fails. You will continue to do good even if the person is not worthy of it. You will perform good things even if the situation somehow seems to be hindering you from doing so. If there is authentic love, you will always recognize the good work of God in you. That it is always God giving you an opportunity to take part in His loving mission. And so today, my friends, we examine ourselves. Am I consistent with goodness? Have I grown mature in Christian charity? O baka pinipili ko pa rin ang sitwasyon kung kailan ako magiging mabuti? Kung kanino ako magiging mabuti? Dahil ang Panginoong Jesucristo, nang inalay ang kanyang buhay, inalay niya ito para sa ating lahat. Hindi maaaring ang ipagdasal mo ngayon, "Panginoon, may darating na bagyo, iligtas mo ako, yung kapitbahay ko wag na." Dahil kapag ang Diyos ang sumagot sa kabutihan ng loob ng tao, Ito'y para sa lahat. Kanino tayo kakampi? Sa Diyos o sa ating sarili?